Hi friendlings, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would do my 1 month postpartum. Pippa is here, she's just here, gurgling away, so you will hear her. She'll probably cry in a moment. I thought I would do this video and kind of just have a chat with you about how I've been getting on and how the first month's been. I'm currently now 6 weeks and she turns 7 weeks old tomorrow, so I thought it'd be kind of the perfect time just to give you an overall update really. So the first thing I want to discuss with you is that I don't know if people really know this. I've especially found out that more and more so that people actually don't know you still have a bump after you've given birth, and it takes a while for all of your organs and everything to go back into place. Once baby has obviously exited the body, all of your organs go to the top near your at the top of your rib cage, near your heart. Everything moves up to make room for the baby. So that is still, I've still got a little bit of a bump. I have lost quite a lot of weight. People keep saying it's in my face, which I'm extremely happy of. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of clarify that you do still have a bump after you've given birth, and sometimes it can be disheartening. I do still have moments where I'm a bit upset that my clothes don't really fit, but to be honest with you, it really doesn't matter. And it's just, you know, with your emotions so skyrocketing anyway, it's just something that's going to happen. So if you do feel upset about it, don't worry. I mean, I've come to the conclusion I'm just going to buy myself a new pair of jeans. My old jeans were old anyway, so yeah, it's absolutely fine. The other thing I want to speak to you about is Pippa's weight. So Pippa is now weighing 11 pounds 3. So she's put on quite a lot of weight since she was born. She originally was 6 pounds 15. I'm absolutely over the moon. She's a little bit of a chunk now, which is what I used to be as a little girl as well. Are you getting involved? So she's a lot more solid, and it's quite nice really, because it means that I'm not so afraid of like picking her up anymore. It's just really, really nice. So that is all going really, really well. Leading off that, I've actually had mastitis for the second time. The tablets here are actually what I'm on again. So I've been on these tablets once already for 7 days, and now I'm on them again for another week. So mastitis is basically where you have really, really red boobs, and it's basically a blockage for the milk flow. I think I briefly explained it in my last video. So I've got that again. I'm on the 7-day tablets. It does give Pippa diarrhea, which can't be helped. But my mastitis is nearly gone, so this is like the last push really, I'm hoping, just to get rid of it. So if you do have it, like please go and get it checked out, because it's not a nice thing to have, and you just need to have it sorted for more you really. Like that is probably like the one thing. Like Pippa's absolutely fine, she's absolutely smashing all of her goals that she needs, and every time we go to the doctors and the health visit, she's absolutely fine. But it's more me now, like I'm the one that needs to be taken care of, and I need to look after myself. Leading off that, so breastfeeding. Breastfeeding's actually been fine. It's been really good. I feel so much more confident now than I ever have done before. Since the last time I updated you guys, I kind of was still a bit nervous about feeding out and about, but now I've got proper maternity bras and feeding bras. It's just a lot easier to do. So even going out for coffee with Lucy and Rain, who me and Ollie met through our hypnobirthing class, all of us just sat there feeding in Costa is just so much nicer. It's like building up that confidence with friends is really good. And although I haven't breastfed out on my own yet, I don't feel as scared as I was before about doing it, so I'm sure that will come with time. So breastfeeding has been absolutely fine. Obviously now that she's a bit of a chunk a lot, as you guys would have seen on my Instagram if you follow me there, I've been posting like mad about her, and you'll see her really, really cute rolls that she's got going on. So yeah, the breastfeeding's been absolutely fine. I haven't tried expressing yet. I would really like to, just because I've got a couple of events coming up, and I think it's probably the best time to start trying that now. Yeah, so breastfeeding's really good, and that even though the mastitis is still there, she's still putting on weight, so I'm not entirely worried about it, and it's not hurting her at the end of the day. It's just something that I'm going to have to get used to, or to get over, shall I say. I'm just checking my hair because it looks a bit weird. Every time I look down, it's because I've written myself a little list, because baby brain is a real thing, and I'm struggling with it big time. So breastfeeding, routine. So routine at the moment, she doesn't really have one. Through the night though, she does. She wakes up every 2 hours for a feed, which is not a lot of sleep. I've actually put on my Fitbit for the first time since finding out I was pregnant, and it tells me that I basically get 3.5 hours at most sleep a night, which is probably really scary thinking about it. And to be fair, I kind of wish I hadn't put it back on, because I feel like more tired knowing that I'm not getting a lot of sleep. But because she's waking up that time every night, it is a lot easier for me to deal with, and I'm actually writing down all of my times that I do for breastfeeding, so I know when she's going to wake up. Well, I know now anyway, but writing it down just helps me, so I know exactly like when she's waking up, and I can look back as well. So routine wise, nighttime, she goes to sleep from 10, and she doesn't wake up till nearly 1-2 o'clock, or between like 1 to 2 for a feed, and then wakes up every 2 hours after that. So I get a decent amount out of her. Last night I tried putting her into a proper routine. So I bathed her at 6:30, dressed her, and she was back in her cot down here at 8 o'clock, where she stayed asleep until 10. Then I woke her up for a change, or Ollie changed her, I fed her, and then we put her straight back down, and she didn't wake up until 1 o'clock, which is pretty good for her really, considering normally she does sleep quite a lot during the day. Like, she's trying to go to sleep now. So I was worried that with that amount of sleep in the evening, I didn't think she was going to sleep that well through the night, but she did. So it's kind of like we're trying with routine. It's slowly but surely we will get there. I definitely want to introduce bath time at night time, mainly because I love it, and I think she loves it as well. Lucy and Ollie from our hypnobirthing class suggested hair drying Pippa, because they do to their daughter, and because Pippa loves the bath, but she hates getting out, which everyone does, and you know, it's not nice getting out of a warm bath into the cold. So she's now being hair dried, which she absolutely loves. So I'm hoping that tonight will go the same way, and we can do the same thing, and she'll get into a bit of a routine, and she understands that it's nighttime and it's bedtime. So that's routine. Number 6, so sleeping pattern. So I've just touched on all of that. Her sleeping pattern is pretty much the same. I'm just trying to introduce a longer sleeping pattern now, so that she sleeps for longer in the night. But it just seems weird already, like putting her to bed and it being like 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, or even like nearly 11 by the time that me and Ollie got into bed and like fed her and stuff. I like miss her. Like, it's weird to think that she's only there and she's asleep, but it's weird that I actually miss her, and I think it's just because I normally have her on me, or she's just wanting attention and stuff like that, so that's kind of weird. So sleeping pattern, and leading on to that, so exercise wise, I am trying to get out walking about. It's hard, not gonna lie, just because she is clingy, so leaving the room is hard, and even getting out of the house, as new mums will know, there's so much to get ready for you. Like, you have to make sure they're fed, changed, and then by the time that you try and leave the door, they pretty much or Pip does, she decides that she needs another wee or a poo, and then you have to restart. So I am struggling to get out for a walk. Next week I've set myself a goal at 2 o'clock every day to get out and have a walk. So hopefully that will happen. We will see. I'll make sure I put something on Instagram just to kind of push myself and let you guys know that I've been doing it. So exercise wise, now we've got to the 6 weeks, I'm really excited to do proper exercising now and lean myself back into it and start getting rid of this tum. I'll show you my tummy at the end of this video so that you guys can see how much I still do have a bump, considering obviously it's now 7 weeks, she's 7 weeks old tomorrow. So exercise wise, I'm really excited to kind of get back into it. I'm just seeing if I've got, did I mention, I'm doing my pelvic floor, I'm doing like the pulling of the tummy, trying to get, I can never remember what it's called, but basically when you have a baby, your muscles stretch, so it's trying to pull the muscles back. So then doing like sit-ups and things like that, you're still able to do it without a bulge appearing. And it's basically the back muscle coming through to the front, and the front muscle not having enough, is not completely flat. So it's all very technical, so I'm trying to sort out that, like Pinterest, I've got loads of exercises on. Oh yeah, so leading off exercise, so body image, as I briefly touched on a minute ago, I'm feeling a little bit self-conscious because I know that I put on a lot of weight during pregnancy. I put on nearly 3 stone. I've lost a stone and a bit now, so I'm kind of getting there slowly. Obviously I'm not expecting to be back to my old self, because I know the body changes, and I'm not expecting to be anywhere near my old weight anytime soon. But I know that, you know, small steps at a time will make such a difference. Me and Ollie, now it's like summer anyway, we're a lot better like healthy eating wise, so it'll be a lot easier having that kind of motivation. It's just getting out of the house that I need to do, because where we live there is places to walk, but there's nowhere that I really like want to walk, so every time I go out I'd have to get in the car. So I don't know, I need to think about it and think about where I want to go and get into myself a bit of routine, especially before next week where I'm like forcing myself to make sure I go for a walk. So yeah, so exercise and body image. Gave birth, I had no appetite at all. Like I was craving sweets and chocolate all the time, and as soon as I gave birth I just didn't want any of it. This is probably the most my appetite's come back. Like I'm actually eating 3 meals a day as long as I remember to cook my lunch. I've still got a bit of a sweet tooth, but I don't think that will ever change. And yeah, it's just kind of slowly but surely getting there, bit by bit. Emotions wise, I am still extremely emotional. I have serious baby brain. I literally don't remember anything anymore. So that's really hard for me to kind of get to grips with. And also kind of like crying all the time. Like I never used to cry ever, and now I'm just crying at the most random things. I watched a video on YouTube where someone's baby was born, and I cried. Like it was such an emotional thing to watch. It was just lovely, and it just brought all the tears back for when she was born, so that was really nice. But still not something I'm used to, and there's just things that I just get upset over easily, and I just need to make sure that I have to check myself really, because I don't want to be too like emotionally high, although you can't help it. It's just something that happens. So that's that. What else do I need to talk to you about? Okay, so there's only a couple of things more. So the other thing I've got, as well as the mastitis, is piles. Now this is something I never knew that you could get after giving birth, ever. Like honestly, no idea at all. I've had it for 2 weeks now. I didn't know, so we went to go see my mum, and I said to my mum that I'd been struggling to go. It basically feels like you're pooing glass. And she said, yeah, it's definitely piles, something that you always get, like potentially most people get it after giving birth, especially like if you give birth naturally. So that was like my biggest clue. Went to the doctors, and the doctor I saw wasn't entirely helpful, I'm not gonna lie. She basically told me to try creams over the counter. That didn't work, so I went back again and saw a different doctor, and she's put me on a couple of things plus creams, and also like trying to help me not be constipated at all, because my body's now in shock and it doesn't really like going to the loo. I know this is a really fun subject, but I think it's important, because if I didn't know, I don't know how many other people out there don't know. And if you're struggling to go to the loo and it feels like you're pooing glass, then 100% get yourself to the doctors. Or like if it's only really, it's not too bad, then go to Tesco, Sainsbury's, anywhere like that, and get yourself some cream. My pain was that bad that I had to go to the doctors that it honestly felt like I was going to pass out on the toilet. Now that's not really good, especially having a newborn in the house. It really scared me, and every time I went to the loo it felt like I was going to, well, pass out, but I felt violently sick after as well. That's the whole reason that my sister came down as soon as when did she come down? Oh, no, that like a week before, last week or something. Just so that I could go to the loo and not have to worry about Pip being on her own, because it was getting to the point where I'd need to sit in the loo for like at least an hour, or, you know, half an hour, just to let things go naturally. And I was also obviously really scared to go. So yeah, so that's really, really important. If you guys have got either mastitis or PARS, like honestly, if it's that bad, get it looked at. Trust me, I'm so much better off now than I was before. So last but not least, so as I said to you, although this is my first month postpartum, I had my 6 weeks check today, and Pip had her 6 week check. I'm absolutely fine apart from the mastitis and the piles. They really want me to keep an eye on that because it's just not good. And even when I saw the health visitor as well on Monday, she said that's the only thing she's worried about. Pip is absolutely fine, putting on weight as normal. She's an absolute like little gem. She's doing amazingly, and I'm so proud. Me and Ollie have absolutely smashed it, and apparently my milk is basically magic. So considering I've got mastitis, clearly that's doing something right. So yeah, so I'm literally focusing on me now, trying to get myself back up and running and rested, because it is really hard. Like if I didn't have mastitis and I didn't have piles, to be fair, if I didn't have the piles, I could deal with the mastitis, then I would be so much more like over the moon than I already am, because I honestly feel like absolutely like, I don't know, like something's clicked in the last couple of days. Something's just clicked, and I just feel like a mum now instead of someone who's just trying to like find their feet with a newborn. So it's quite nice, and I just think if I didn't have the piles, it would make such a difference. I'm trying not to have you too close because I'm still got a lot of chin. So yeah, so that is my first month update, sort of 6 weeks update, but oh well. My advice to anybody who's in the same position as me, get yourself to the doctors. I've said it like 50 million times in this video. It will help, and it will not go away if you just leave it, and that is something that I always used to do, and it's something I'm never going to do again. Yeah, so let me show you my belly. So this, as you can see, is kind of here, and it's a little bit of a pooch. From the side, my boobs are massive. You can still see that I've got a bit of a belly, and I stand up, you can see I've still got a bit of a belly, but it's natural. Anybody else who's got it, it's natural. Don't stress, and if you're about to have a baby, just be prepared that you're not going to bounce back at the end of it. It's a normal thing. So yeah, so I will see you guys all next time. If you've got any questions or anything like that, just drop them in the comment section below, and I will come back to you guys as soon as possible, just to make you aware. For some reason my phone never tells me that I've got a YouTube like message straight away, so it may be a few hours. I'm sorry about that. Please like and subscribe and share this video if you think anybody else will be able to benefit from it. And I will see you guys all next time. And I do promise you, I'm still trying to get me and Ollie to sit down to do the labour video, and I really, really want to do it. Like, trust me, I really want to do it. So I will see you guys all next time, and I hope you enjoy your weekend. Bank holiday weekend as well. Bye.